morning, everyone, and Sat Sri Akal. Actually, I have been put in a difficult spot because after Mr. Nanda, I actually forgot what I was supposed to speak. The talk was so mesmerizing, sir, that it really, I feel immensely proud that ICAI is doing such a wonderful job of highlighting our progress on the global market, global international scene. So, proud to feel Indian because of ICAI. Thank you, sir. So, coming back, my name is Nishant. I have been working with the CFOs for close to 20 years now. And in our own way of being a technology provider, we are helping you in becoming a next generation leader, trying to get best out of the technology. Whenever I go and meet you all as CFOs, and many of you I have met before in my previous company's current company. So I always try to tell them that you are so smart and you have a team which is built up of MBA finance, wonderful CAs. So what's the need to spend so much time on mundane tasks? Rather use your knowledge and intellect to make more decisions. Try to help your business colleagues to work out scenarios, help them in planning, and help them in growth of the business. So that's what it all entails, the use of technology. There has to be a use case for Office of Finance to make business sense out of it. So what I try to do in my 15-20 minutes is try to demystify some of these use cases so that you can actually drive some insights out of this session, and maybe when you go back to your offices and use that. So I've been here supported with my interacted with a lot of CFOs in this role, in other role. Earlier in her career, she started as a Office of Finance person only. So both me and her are not technologists or techies in any sense. My background is mechanical engineer, so I rather understand machine more than code. But we always try to drive some common sense points so that we can make most out of the technology. So maybe starting with the usual, what's going on in the world today, right? So we see that there is a humongous change that is happening around us. I feel that slowly we will achieve singularity or super intelligence, what you call, maybe in a couple of years. But as of now, what is happening is that there is trillions of dollars being floated in AI companies, and they are bringing in a lot of drivers from in terms of subscriber as well as other technology companies. So some may call it AI bubble. I read about it in Financial Times, but maybe it is not a bubble. It is beginning of something new, because in the first time in humankind, I feel, since the technology started, we invented calculator, we invented computer, but AI is something different. It is basically something which can also create something on its own shortly. So it has started at baby steps. It is being told that today's AI is as powerful as a newly graduate student, but I think in few months or so, it will be as powerful as a PhD, right? So there is a company called DeepMind which was acquired by Google, and Daniel Hassabis got the Nobel Prize when he was in Google, and the reason was he created a program on AI of protein synthesis which can identify the proteins within matter of hours, which a PhD scholar used to take 2 years. So I think all these changes are happening, and you can see the time these companies have taken to achieve some important landmarks, like DeepSeek got 10 million users in 20 days, ChatGPT got 100 million users in 2 months. Perplexity became #1 downloaded app on App Store in India after their partnership with Airtel, and after that I think we have ChatGPT Go available freely, and Jio is making available Gemini freely. So everyone will have in their pocket AI-enabled device. I think the first effect I see is in my society WhatsApp group. So there are a lot of, if somebody asks any question, there is a long description with bold text with hyphen which clearly indicates where these messages are coming from. So it will change every aspect of our life, including our business. But from the finance community, what is happening today is that more than 90% of the data has been generated in 2 years, and it will happen exponentially even more. And I don't know whether it's a bot talking to me when I am interacting with someone on Twitter, or definitely in the chat box it's a bot. But if there will be bot to bot data, you will have agents who is talking on behalf of you where you are doing something else. Already emails, tremendous time is taken away by Copilot or whatever client you use. So the data will keep on generating, and as it will be difficult for us as human being to make the sense out of data. So that's a challenge we have. And for that, I think yesterday when Deepak Bhalla, who is a dear friend from very old days, he mentioned that CFO should be a co-pilot to a CEO while he was doing his, Kaun Banega Crorepati type of a panel discussion, which I enjoyed a lot. But this was the one word he used, and I fully agree with him that to CFO, AI will become a co-pilot. So co-pilot means that AI will help, but the decision ultimately will be taken by the CFO. So that's the vision we have in our company. We will tell a little bit of more about it. This is the only technical slide we have, and it basically encompasses all the topics you have been discussing today. So we as a company were the first one to introduce in 2024 AI-enabled EPM. Now I have worked in companies like Hyperion, which was the gold standard for the office of CFO in the past, with IBM, with Anaplan, in the respective functions where we help Office of Finance. But EPM, what we call as Enterprise Performance Management, and as a layman, basically these are the software which sits on top of your ERP, CRM, HRMS solutions, so that it helps you make decisions. I have seen a very big change. I will give you two examples, one from the right side of the CFO's office and one from the left side of the CFO's office. So from the right side, basically from the foresight perspective, what I speak is, earlier when I used to be in Hyperion and I used to meet CFOs, everybody was just interested in understanding how we can automate the Office of Finance FP&A department. So basically they will collect data from sales, marketing, operations, and the FP&A team will build the budgets. But what is happening today is CFOs are very, very interested in going granular. They want to understand how the sales planning is happening, how the workforce planning is happening at a position level. So the questions here are not departmental. The planning here is not departmental. It is going into details, and as we say, the devil is in the details. So for example, if they want to do any scenario, if there is a raw material price change in 5%, they want to see from the basic granular detail that how the price will change. We are talking to one of the largest automotive companies, and the first meeting that I had with their CFO was, and who is very tech savvy, was that, Nishant, I am not interested in high level FP&A stuff that used to happen. I want to know at model trim level what is my most profitable vehicle, so that I can give insights to the people on ground that what they need to sell. So these are the kind of conversation happening for the data, and the insight that is required is much more than what you used to do in the past. Another example I want to give is from the what you can say hindsight view of CFO's office, which is the consolidation process. When I used to go in Hyperion days, and they had a software HFM which we used to sell for doing consolidation, the most critical requirement is, okay, how I can do intercompany elimination, currency changes, ownership structure changes in a consolidation software. And when we talked about disclosures, they will just shoo it away, say we don't need it because we just need to make some schedules. But today when I go to a company which is having 8 subsidiaries, the key requirement is, can your software do RPT? Can your software do LODR? Can your software do notes to accounts? So I think paradigm has changed completely, and as Mr. Nanda said, non-financial data, capturing that is becoming super critical. So what I see going forward, detailed level planning and disclosures will keep on increasing, and that's why solutions are required other than Excel, which can help you do that, but without taking you completely away from the Excel. So what we and other companies have done is that they have made Excel as also one of the front end, but it is a guarded Excel where you can't change the formula, you can't change the format. It is just for the sake of maintaining the familiarity. So as you can see, the solution, the modern solution that we have basically brings all these use cases on one platform, starting from the ESG to tax to planning to consolidation on one platform and embedded by the use cases of AI. We have some objective AI use cases. I'll not go too deep into it because I and Mahima thought that since everyone is going in a little creative manner about the way they are performing the presentations. Mr. Partha Sarthi gave such a wonderful presentation talking about his five things that we need to become a finance leader. So we thought we will do a little bit of role play instead of just explaining you theoretically how the AI is used in finance. So we will cover into that. And I think what we are launching very soon is agentic AI, which is even more transformative. It will have agents doing the work of planning, of consolidation on behalf of you, so that your team can focus more on analysis. We are bringing something called Planning Sentinel, so that the artificial intelligence agent can capture the scenarios, tell you which is the scenario most suitable for you, and then you can press the final button. Lastly, I want to tell that there is a lot of fear and anxiety in finance people, but I firmly believe that it is something, the AI is something which is not replacing, it will be elevating your role. You will be focused more on doing things which human mind is suitable for, which is creativity, decision making, whereas mundane tasks and repeatable tasks will be taken care of with AI. And with Wolters Kluwer, we being a European company, we focus a lot on how the AI can be non-biased, how it can be transparent, how it can be fair and ethical. I think it's very important. Sometimes we go too much into glamour of AI, forgetting whether I am able to understand how these decisions are made. And then things like bias and hallucinating comes into the picture. So we take it very seriously. You can imagine the difference between a European mindset and a US mindset or other countries' mindset, that we have to be very, very focused on transparency and fairness, and that these are the governing principles with which we use AI in our solution. So I will talk with you. I have met many wonderful people, learning so much from them, but we are here to talk. So we will talk more and discuss more on this topic. We can't possibly cover it in 10-15 minutes, but just wanted to give you the flavor on what we are doing. And now we will play a game called Day in Life Numbers with Nishant. I really enjoy that game because it gives me chance for 5 minutes to become a CFO, or act like a CFO. I have always been on the other side of the table. So I will hand over to Mahima, who is my AI analyst, and I will act like a CFO.
Sure, thank you, Nishant. And we were very inspired from the session since yesterday. So we had KBC with Mr. Bhalla yesterday. This is our version of Coffee with Karan. So numbers with Nishant for the CFO community here. So even before I invite Nishant to ask any questions from me, I have a little bit of a prep work, a pre-work to do, preparing the data, generating the forecast before I invite him to ask me questions and do our meeting today. And I think rightly said by Mr. Nanda as well, saying, data is the new oil. But I believe that is a partially complete sentence. There is a very annoyingly small letters footnote in that sentence which says data is the new oil, but you have to spend 10 months and do drill down of getting that data in a shape and form from the leaky Excel spreadsheet. So I think that sentence is very strong, but there is a small caps footnote also that follows in that. So as we get started to prepare the data, we understand that, from a organization standpoint, this data is currently sitting in multitudes of source systems. I collect it from erstwhile legacy tools, platforms that may be existing in your organization. I need to run reconciliations. This is, data combinations across thousands, lakhs of products, business dimensions, geographies that I bring in. I clean that data, I understand if there are anomalies before I even start to do any material work on that data as a finance professional myself, right? The idea is we want to take all of that effort away and bring it into value-added analysis. So this data can be data across products, business units, across months of the year that we're bringing into Tagetik. That means as a finance professional, I am not going through those hundreds, thousands, lakhs combination of data. The platform is doing that churning, that processing work for me. It is running the engine and it is automatically doing that consolidation processing, reconciliation, anomaly detection. And as an end user, now it is throwing out to me, let's say, I'm a US business manager and I'm going to start reviewing that data for a specific combination. That means my book of work has become a concise book of work to review, let's say, one anomaly, two anomaly. So imagine, as opposed to scrolling through multiple tabs in Excel spreadsheets, I'm now just spending time to understand why is the system telling me that a certain data point, let's say in my case, is an anomaly. And it is not a black box. So I don't need to worry about, okay, but why is it saying so? And I go back to, 36 months of data. I'm reviewing this information all together in one place, understanding that the system is telling me that it has created lower and upper bounds of where it finds that this parameter might sit in the future. I'm outside of that parameter range and therefore it is telling me that this is an anomaly in your data. But it's not black box. So it's even telling me on the right hand side that we're looking at other related variables or parameters. So to say, your discounting, your pricing, what campaigns are you running at any point in time, and understanding therefore how your sales in our case may be impacted. And it's also automatically generating that narration on the bottom, which is to tell me that I am essentially saying that I'm expecting higher sales because of pricing or discounts that we were giving out at that point in time. So not a black box approach. The idea is that we bring together the analysis to the hands, empowering the finance users to be able to go through this analysis at the click of a button without having to spend time in going through multiple tabs of Excel spreadsheets and still being lost in that mammoth network of data without any analysis coming out of it. And then of course, once I have reviewed that, I'm then ready to give my recommendation. So final decision making power is still with me, and I can say, whether I consider this as an outlier, a yes or a no, and then that data gets pushed into the platform. So the idea is we are at the first step, confident of the data that is going into the system without having to spend unnecessary hours in getting that data ready in a shape and form that I can use. Now, as I've said that the second step before I invite Nishant to ask me questions, the difficult ones, is to have a baseline forecast ready. So have the platform, the intelligent platform, go through your data, go through external, internal factors, and have a baseline forecast ready for my FP&A team to start to work with business and overlay that. And the way we do that is, of course, by bringing in your internal, external data points. These could be, competitive information, if you use market data, if you're using inflation, etc. But the idea is that we bring it all together and generate the forecasts at the required level of granularity. So now, as business users, when you come in, you are concentrating on understanding the forecast with lower and upper levels of confidence. You are then also taking time to review what are the factors that we have incorporated. So as everybody I think in the room before me has called out, right? The ability to be ready with different scenarios to say, okay, what if markets were to move in a certain direction? What if exchange rates were to look like this? What if our competition grows stronger versus what if we are able to get more market share? So all these factors, I'm understanding how, when these move, what is our plan going to look like. And then of course, not just that, we are then also starting to work with our business teams. So doing the baseline scenarios and then start to work with business teams to incorporate the information that they are having on the ground. So of course, overriding the forecast itself as well, as we're starting to understand our ability to manage the business in different scenarios and manage the volatility that we are operating in. So with that, what I've done is I've set the baseline right, and I will now ask Nishant to come in and ask the difficult questions, and let's see how we can solve for some of this for him as the CFO.
First question is quite easy. In our chair business, we are facing a lot of competition. So can you give me an insight into plan versus actual? I think it's an easy one.
That absolutely is an easy one, but I will make that a little bit tougher for me. I will do that for you in under a minute. So from the finance team's perspective, right, many a times we're sitting in the rooms and we are, as Nishant asked, the first one of course is a very easy one. But the idea is we're sitting in rooms and we want to understand the data a little bit better, do analysis, answer questions then and there. The idea is the finance user shouldn't be going back to Excel spreadsheet, shouldn't be worrying about where that data is it in a shape and form that I can create a report and present in the meeting. They should be able to, just like we do on Gemini, ask questions in natural language and have that analysis brought to you in the form of the analytics. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And as I promised, I will do that in under a minute. Within the platform then, we'll start to answer questions in natural language. I can either type them in, or as you're seeing, I can use the voice command to ask the system to present to me information in terms of our budget versus actuals comparison of revenue. And I'm not worrying, where this data is lying, what is the structure, how do I present it. It automatically presents the analysis to me. Of course, now I can change it. So I can change the type of charting. I can then, if I want to add more parameters, if I want to show a business unit-wise cut, absolutely I can ask that. But the idea is in under a minute, we're ready to create the analysis that we need to further help with our discussions in the meeting. So that answer, I will move on to the next one.
This is slightly tougher because it comes from the auditors. So I think finance professionals understand the seriousness of that. So auditors want to see the intercompany reports. So can you answer that as well?
Absolutely, and because it's come from auditors, it comes with additional lens, as you rightly said, Nishant. So the idea is that, again, I'm going to type it in natural language, ask the system the question to generate the intercompany report for me. And once it brings the visualization up, I then also have the ability to trace back, because auditors will definitely want me to double click, they'll want to go down and understand which intercompany, which counterparty entity. So drilling down by products, by business regions, geography, so tracing back the numbers as would be the request of the auditor. We can absolutely do that on the fly in the platform. And then focus on a particular business unit performance and understand all the metrics around it. Just New York, in our example, as one of the companies here. Now, not only that, auditors will ask for this information in an Excel report, absolutely. So let's take it to the Excel interface, let's copy it over to the Excel interface, and then let's create the required reporting format, which may be by counterparty entity, by the respective periods, etc. So the idea is we can start to interact with the solution in a interactive drill down fashion, trace back the numbers, but with of course auditors, or so may be the case with regulators as well. They will require their reports and cuts in a predefined format, and we are ready to report in pixel perfect reporting requirements as the case may be. So that is ready to be shared to auditor then.
Okay, the last question, which is even tougher because it has come from the regulators. So we want to see the adjusted revenue numbers by entity, Mahima.
Absolutely, and this of course it means that there is going to be a little bit more scrutiny because we have to share it with regulators. But I'm going to start out exactly the same way as I did last time around, which is asking the system to pull out the first level of data for me. Once the system will start to prepare the report for me, I can then start to work with people in my team to get the peer review done before I share it out further to the regulators. So same way it started out, pulling the report, the baseline data, but the adjusted revenue numbers are not available in my source system. I will adjust it for, let's say, export duties, anything else that I want to bring in. I'm working in a very similar fashion like I will with my Excel formulas that I know how to use and prepare the report, very much similar to how I'm doing it currently, but with the power of the platform, because the baseline data, I'm asking the system to query for me and bring it up in Excel or in a dashboard format as the case may be. Now once I'm done, I will of course require a peer review before we publish it to the regulator. So then I can seamlessly collaborate across the organization, have that first cut, second cut peer review that we want with numbers, validate and vet it with the respective business owners of the number before we essentially start to share it out externally, or in our case with the regulators. So Nishant, I hope that answers the last question for you.
So yeah, thank you Mahima. I think you got the job. First of all, good news. And I hope you got the glimpse of the platform today, although the demos and sessions goes for 45 minutes, 1 hour, but we wanted to capture a little bit of AI embedded EPM platform. So thank you so much for your patience, and look forward to meet you during the conference. Thank you.